I have a theory that resistance hits hardest right before the finish line. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are tuning in to the I Have a Theory series on the Mindspo podcast. And this episode in particular is one that, if you are in the process or planning to do a big project, if you are someone that feels like you start things and then you stop things, if you feel like you are a queen or a king at procrastinating and you're not just following through with the things that you said you would do, hi, this episode was made for you. This episode is specifically all about your subconscious mind. And I actually wrote a book with Penguin called Magnetic, and it has been translated into over 10 different languages all around the world, including German, Portuguese, Spanish, Ukrainian, Arabic. Gosh, where else has it been translated? Dutch, the list goes on. And that book is all about the subconscious mind. And when I was writing the book and I was really delving into the subconscious mind, I came across this idea that I have always known about, but now I can really kind of put language to it. And that is this thing that happens when we are so close to the manifestation, when we are so close to finally getting to wherever it is that we want to go. Resistance pops up. Procrastination rears its ugly head. And all of a sudden, there are all of these things that are preventing you from actually getting the thing done. And I never used to really understand why this happened. I used to think I was just a professional at procrastinating and I was just really inconsistent and I sucked at finishing things that I started. But really what is going on is it is your subconscious fighting against you. So for the sake of this podcast, I really want to kind of put things into metaphors. And I want you to think about your current identity, the person you are right here, right now, the person who's listening to this podcast. I want you to think about that as a kind of entity. It is a version of you that exists, and it is a version of you that wants to stay existing. And there are so many different versions of you. There are literally billions upon billions of versions of you that exist in the quantum field. Some people like to call these timelines, right? There are so many different timelines that exist for you. They are literally infinite. And every single time you make a choice, every single time you do a certain thing, you are choosing to align with a certain version of you on a certain timeline. Now, every version of you wants to exist. Every version of you is kind of like a very, very hungry animal that is trying to stay alive and fight for its existence. And how it fights for its existence is it has you acting in alignment with the version of you in that timeline. So an example of this is, I want you to imagine that you're single. And maybe you are single right now and you can use you as an example. And you've gotten really comfortable being single because while you're single, you're looking after yourself, you're doing whatever it is that you want to do, you're prioritizing your friends, your health, your wellness. Like you are just focusing on you. And it feels really good to focus on you. And even though you are single and you're really enjoying being single, in your heart of hearts, you have this manifestation and this dream that you're going to find the one. And you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to find this person. Now, I want you to imagine that this single version of you, this single identity, even though at the same time it wants to have a relationship, it wants to stay alive. It wants to continue its life being single. It is literally a timeline that exists that wants to continue existing through you in physical human form. So even though you want a relationship, there are parts of your subconscious, which is the program that the timeline uses, that keeps sabotaging you when you go into relationships. It keeps telling you that, no, this is safe. No, this is uncomfortable. No, I'm going to push this person away. No, I'm not going to write back to the text. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get the ick. Because the single version of you, it wants to stay single. Now, this is a form of resistance. And look, I know probably getting into a relationship is an example of getting something done, but it's the same concept, right? It is when there is a version of you that wants to stay alive. And while at the same time, this version of you can have a dream and a desire for something else, the reality of actually having that other thing, it requires you to be a different person. It requires you to let go of your current reality. It requires a death of the current timeline. Now let's use this in a project sense. I'm going to use me as an example. When I was writing my book, Magnetic, I had a desire to become a published author, and I had gotten the contract. I'm writing the book. I'm doing the thing. Yeah, doing the thing. While doing the thing, I have so much resistance. Like, I am literally living out my dream life. I am writing this book. I've got this massive publisher that wants to publish a book with me. I've got this great fat advance. I'm feeling so damn good and excited. You would think I would just speed through this whole entire process. No, 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 no. Current version of me, who is Rochelle, who isn't an author yet, that is in the process of becoming an author, she has so much resistance and she is constantly procrastinating. She's finding reasons why she should stop writing. She's got stories running around in her head that are trying to stop her from doing the thing. She is creating so much unnecessary drama that doesn't exist to try and stop me from following through and actually getting myself to the finish line, which is getting this book published on my deadline with Penguin and getting it out in the world. Now, why is that happening? Well, that's happening not because I don't want to become an author, but because becoming an author would require the death of my current self, of the version of me who is not an author. Now, you might be thinking, well, why wouldn't you want to become an author? Like, isn't that your dream? Isn't that your goal? Why would you be holding yourself back? This is where you really need to understand the subconscious mind and your subconscious body will always choose safety over everything else. And I felt so safe not being an author. I felt so safe being someone that not many people really knew about, that wasn't an official authority on anything, that was just another coach, because I didn't have to rise up to a certain level of responsibility. I was holding less energy. I had less things on my plate. I had more space. And that felt safe. That felt good. That felt comfortable. And then becoming an author, it required showing up on big podcasts. It required me putting myself out there and putting my name on words and saying, like, this is my truth. This is my thing. I am standing for this. It required me really becoming a completely different version of me. And I had to let this old version of me die. Now, the thing that showed up in both these situations that I explained to you, going from being single to being in a relationship, or going from being someone who wasn't very well known to now being someone who is an author. The thing that shows up is resistance. And resistance is literally your subconscious trying to protect you and trying to stay in its current timeline. It is the thing that shows up whenever you are close to getting the thing done, whenever you are close to getting across the finish line, whenever you are close to making the leap, to making the money, to living the dream. Resistance will show up. And resistance is sneaky. It shows up in so many different kinds of ways. And I think it is probably one of the most creative things that we deal with. If we think about resistance as like an entity, it is a shapeshifter. If it had a star sign, it would be a Gemini. It is so many things all at once. In my experience, resistance has shown up many times as sickness, just getting randomly unexplained illness or ailments right before I'm meant to finish something, or right before things get good, I'll all of a sudden get sick. Resistance has also shown up as massive detours that somehow happen. Resistance for me also shows up as irritability and frustration and arguments. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'll be making drama and problems with people and things that I don't need to be having drama or problems with, but all of a sudden I want to pick a fight with everyone because I'm trying to create drama to try and distract myself from the thing that I need to do. Resistance also shows up as brain fog or writer's block. It can show up as exhaustion, burnout, heaviness, or exhaustion. And when it's showing up as these things, these body signals, I want to remind you that you don't just have a subconscious mind, you also have a subconscious body. And your nervous system speaks in sensation. That is the language of the subconscious body. So it is sending you all of these signals, all of these things to try and distract you, to slow you down, to stop you from following through your body. And that is your nervous system saying, hey, we are reaching our upper limit. Hey, we're feeling unsafe. Hey, we are feeling stretched. Hey, we need regulation. We need you to focus on us, on our body, on our 3D reality, to really hold space for the body in the expansion. And I never used to really understand this. I used to think that it was all a mind thing. No, manifestation, energy work, it really plays into your body as well, because you are living a 3D experience, right? You are here having a human experience, and the human experience is through the body. So we have to tend to our body when we are in that expansion. Resistance also shows up as other people. It shows up as invites to certain things when you really actually need to stay home and finish the goddamn project. It shows up as distraction. It shows up as noise, social media, comparison. These are all forms of resistance. And what I really want you to do in this particular episode is I'm trying to create a very, very strong frame and idea so you really understand what resistance is. And what I want you to start doing in your life from this day forward, so that you are not someone that starts things and then stops them. So you are someone that follows through and you go get your dreams. Because as I always say on this podcast, I desire nothing more than for you to be healthy, wealthy, abundant, and free. And how you are going to embody that, how you're going to get the things that you desire in your life and make your dreams a reality, is if you really understand resistance. So when you experience these signs that I've mentioned and you're in the process of shifting reality timelines, becoming a new version of yourself, getting the thing that you desire, finishing the project, I want you to start labeling and naming the things that are coming up to distract you and procrastinate you and frustrate you as resistance. And I literally want you to say it out loud. Whoo, there's resistance. There is resistance. Oh, yes, I am feeling a lot of resistance. Start to name it, start to bring it up, because when we can name something, we can really kill it, and we can really start to have a relationship with it that isn't so intertwined. Sometimes when we are working with certain elements in manifestation and certain aspects of reality, if we don't have a very clear name or relationship with them, they can kind of just get lost in our experience. And really how you do kill resistance is you meet it with love. You shine a light on it. You put it into the light, because all this resistance is trying to do is it's trying to keep you safe. It is your subconscious mind and your subconscious body trying to keep you small, trying to keep you safe. It is this version of you in this current timeline that is trying to stay alive. And you have to say, hey, I see you, I hear you. What do you need to feel safe? How can I support you in feeling safe in this expansion? What is it that you're worried about? What is it that you're scared of? So going back to the relationship example, if you had a lot of resistance getting into a new relationship and there were all these things coming up preventing you from being in partnership, even though in your heart of hearts you really want to be in that partnership, you would sit with yourself and sit with your inner child and say, like, what are you scared of? What are you worried about getting into this relationship? What bad thing do you think is going to happen? What do you feel like we're going to lose? Because you never really want to lose anything. And I wrote about this in my book, Magnetic. So a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about in today's podcast, it is going to sink into your mind so much deeper, and you're going to understand the subconscious mind on a whole nother level if you go out there and order my book, Magnetic, if you haven't already read it. Because when you get a full picture of the subconscious mind, you really start to understand like why you are doing the things that you're doing, why you're holding yourself back, why you're blocked, why you keep reaching your upper limit, because it is going to shine a light on all of this. So your subconscious mind, it hates losing. The subconscious will do anything to avoid losing. I want you to think about the word loss for a minute. There is no real positive examples of loss in our culture. You lose your wallet, you lose your bags, you lose your job, you lose your money. Like, loss is something that the subconscious is always avoiding. So when it thinks it's going to lose something, for example, it's going to lose its single life, it's going to lose its freedom. It's like, no, I don't want to lose my freedom. No, I don't want to get into a relationship. No, I don't want to lose our anonymity of becoming an author, because if we become an author, we're going to be seen by everyone. But if we're not an author, no one will see us and we get to just stay in our own little safe bubble. Like, it wants to keep everything that it has. And even if your expansion is something that you want and is good for you, it considers the loss a loss. So it will do everything to avoid losing it. And this is where you really have to do the reparenting work, the reprogramming work, and the work with your nervous system to be able to hold the expansion, to be able to regulate yourself through and create safety, real safety. Not just in your mind, but in your body, so that your body goes, oh, actually, if I'm not single anymore, I'm still going to be okay. Or if I decide to leave my job and become an entrepreneur, I'm still going to be okay. Like, you have to coach yourself through that and hold space for that expansion. And this is why resistance keeps showing up, because what it is trying to do is it is trying to stop you from losing what you already have. And as soon as you get close to the finish line, as soon as you get close to getting whatever it is that you desire, the subconscious mind will start tricking you. It will start playing with you. And it sounds like sabotage. It sounds like you're holding yourself back. But really what you're trying to do at a very, very core level is something so human. You are trying to create safety and familiarity within yourself. You're trying to keep yourself safe and protect yourself. And that is a beautiful thing. And the thing about our subconscious mind, and the reason why sometimes manifestation can be so difficult for people, is yes, it's an energy game, but it's an energy game where we're working with our human biology, where we're working with this system, which is the subconscious, which wasn't always in favor of our expansion. Your body, your subconscious, all it wants to do is keep you safe. That is its main goal. Your nervous system, all it wants to do is keep you safe, because if it keeps you safe, it keeps you alive. And anything that is a risk to your life, even if it doesn't make logical sense, like yes, becoming an author isn't going to kill me, or getting a boyfriend isn't going to kill you, but your subconscious and your nervous system, it doesn't know that. It sees a new thing as a threat. So when resistance comes up, I want you to name it. I want you to call it out. And then I want you to meet it with so much love. And I want you to start asking yourself, what do I need for this expansion? What do I need to help you get to this next level? And I want you to see this resistance as information. It's not an enemy. And I want you to start asking this resistance, what do you need to feel safe? Where do you feel dysregulation? Like, where in your body do you feel this dysregulation? Is it showing up in your throat? Is it showing up in your stomach, your shoulders? Like, where are you physically feeling it? And what do you need? Do you need space? Do you need reassurance? Do you need support? Do you need love? Do you need time? Like, what is it that you need in order to move through this thing? Because you've really got to think about yourself in some ways as someone that is guiding your inner child. Because most often than not, when you are moving and manifesting and trying to reach your upper limits, it's your inner child and also your inner teenager that is shouting out for support. It's these parts of us that have been told to stay small, to hide, or to act in a certain way to get what it is that they desire. And it's out of alignment, and you've just got to be with those parts of you, hold space for those parts of you, and realize that all they are asking for is love and safety. That's all your subconscious wants at the end of the day. It wants love, it wants safety, it wants to be seen. So if you are feeling that resistance, if you are feeling that distraction and that procrastination, this is your sign to go and read my book, Magnetic, if you haven't already, to really intimately understand your subconscious mind, to understand how to reprogram it, to understand how to work with it, to understand how to move with it and how to play with it, because your subconscious is there for your expansion. But unfortunately, so many of us have our subconscious mind and our subconscious body actually programmed for our limitation. Because right now, unless you've done the expanding and the reprogramming work, it is literally stuck in that old paradigm, and it is just trying to keep you safe, keep you on the timeline that it knows, keep the current version of you alive. And it might be time for that version of you to be let go, to be put to bed, so this next version of you on this next timeline can be born. So just remember, if resistance is showing up for you, it means that you are close to the finish line. It is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to keep going. And if you want support reprogramming your subconscious mind, obviously I have my book, like I mentioned, but the best place to get all of the tools that have helped me expand and grow into the person that I am today is really on the Mindspo app. This is where I'm putting my attention and time as a teacher moving forward. I have been filling up the Mindspo app with so many brand new categories. It is like a studio for your expansion. There is breathwork in there, EFT reprogramming, which is tapping. If you've never done EFT before, it's incredible. It's one of the things that have helped me break through the limiting subconscious programs that I have had in my mind over the years. It is the tool that I continue to return to time and time again. So there's so many EFTs in there, breathwork practices, regulation practices. We've also got somatic movement in the app, meditations, visualizations, vision board movies. So many things. I have been spending so much time building the app when I wasn't on the podcast. So everything that you need to move through the resistance and to reprogram your subconscious mind is in there. I'm sending you so much love. I know that you are destined for great and big things. That is why you are listening to this podcast. That is why you are part of this community. I believe in you. I want you to believe that the best is yet to come. Say it with me. The best is yet to come. And never forget that you create your own reality, my friend. So go out there and make some freaking magic. I'll see you in the next one.